was like, fuck, so he had already lived, through bullshit. So he was like, you know what, I'm done. So that day, I remember we were already unpacking the plasma, but he's like, fuck that shit, wrap it back up.
Yeah, we out of here.
So we remember we started wrapping it back up in bubble wrap. I was like, what the fuck's happening, And I think that's the day they made the decision. They're like, fuck that shit, we're moving the fuck out. And we started looking, and my mom was already working in Aurora. She had already been working in Aurora for like 9 years.
Damn.
I never even been to Aurora. I didn't even know where she worked at. I just knew she worked nights. So I never really see her because she would knock out all day and then she'll fucking go to work at night.
Yeah.
So she actually works and still works in the same place. It's a factory right behind what's it called? The Matea Valley over there. Over there in that area. But it was like, I remember one time we came out here to see houses before we moved out here. And we went to see houses in hometown at that time. We hadn't seen our house. I never even saw our house until we moved there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we went, and I remember coming here to Aurora, and it was like all cornfield. Even my neighborhood where my parents live at, it was all cornfield. And then I ended up, and I remember my dad. He was like, "Yeah, I want to move to Aurora because I don't want Kenji to grow up to be a degenerate. Whole time I'm already a piece of shit. I would be a piece of shit. I would just been a gangbanging piece of shit. But I mean, shit, I smoked weed for the first time in Aurora, shit, when I was coming out here to visit from the city. I came to visit.
Oh, yeah.
The day that my parents, I think, closed on the house, we ended up coming to one of my mom's friends for her job out here. She was already living out here by, Kendall 10. And her son, he smoked me out for the first time. So I was like, oh, I love Aurora. I can't wait to move there. And then I moved to Aurora. And then from Aurora, I went to Allen. Then I went to Cowherd. And again, just being motherfucking funny, just that shit'll lock you in with motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? There's motherfuckers that try to be funny and some motherfuckers that just, it happens naturally,
Mm-hmm.
And I think when that shit happens, it's just golden. And the thing is that a lot of my influence, the way I talk, a little bit different than my friends, is because when I first moved out here, all the homies I used to kick it were all black. I used to kick it with nothing but the black homies and shit, shout out Jordan and them. But we stopped talking and shit, and then that's when I met Mexican people, Mexican homies and shit, and I started kicking it with them. And then, eventually, you got new friends and shit, everybody, right? But yeah, the first people I was ever around was black people all the time. Motherfuckers, when people were doing, I don't know what the fuck Mexicans were doing out here in middle school, movies and shit, we would be, fucking in, the hood and shit, bro, because, their parents, oh, we're going to a cookout. But to them it's a family cookout, but it's really it's a trap. You feel me? We kick the motherfuckers cooking out, but they also selling shit out the back door. So it would be I was already around that environment, I not even knowing it. You feel me?
Yeah.
So that's kind of my big influence. They were they put me on. I was into Yo Gotti in 5th grade. You feel me?
There you go.
That's what's
Fire,
up.
as you should.
You feel me?
As you should
shit like
been.
that. I was just reminiscing on the tracks we used to listen to, like that King Kong track, King Kong, shit like
God.
that, bro. I'm hood, Webby, Boosie, I'm talking about trap shit, bro. And I'm 5th grade, bro. You feel me? So that shit just had an influence on me, and ever since then, I always kind of and then even the first comedian I ever got into was Cat Williams. He's a super hood, just because I was already into hood comedy and being around black folks. They're funny as black people are funny just naturally, bro.
Yes.
I don't think I've ever met a black person that's not funny. You feel me? Unless they're super institutionalized or something like that. but you feel me? Most of them are funny as fuck, bro. Naturally, they're just good people. Mm-hmm. And when you catch that vibe, when you catch a vibe with them, bro, it's when you get right to the cookout, it's actually it's dope, bro. And I always wanted to give people that feeling, have them laugh to they're fucking you fucking stupid, you shit like that. You feel me? Yeah. So and Cat Williams was the first person I ever saw be able to do that. Yeah, and he inspired me, shit. But yeah, that's my Aurora story. And then East Aurora, shit, that's who I am now.
Hell yeah, East Side shit, eh? Mm-hmm. That's dope as hell. And then, yeah, like you said, you've been getting into all the comedy shit. Cat Williams is a big inspiration for you. So, what really started, how you were just being the class clown and shit, or
you know what?
How did your YouTube start? How did it all really get started with the comedy?
In school, when I was in the city, like I said, I was already the fat dude. So I was instead of getting bullied for being fat, I'd rather be funny. So I would just be funny with all the other motherfuckers. I would just be making people I always had this thing that shit just comes to my head, bro. shit will come to my head like
It's
a funny
natural, yeah.
naturally, and I will just say it out loud, and people will fucking die, and it will work. Sometimes it wouldn't work, you know, but more than often than not, it worked.
Hell
So I
yeah.
like that feedback, and then like after that, you know, like in Chicago, motherfuckers used to roast each other all the time. You feel me? Like, so roasting, like that's all we would do in the lunch table. We would just talk shit to each other, bro. I remember one time, bro. I was in the city, bro, and there was this girl I liked. Her name was Cynthia. I've had like 3 different crushes on 3 different Cynthias, and none of them ever liked me back. So if your name's Cynthia, you fuck with me, please hit me up.
Oh shit.
But no, and so there was this girl named Cynthia, and I remember after school we used to chase her home because we used to think that was flirting, but I realized that was probably scary as fuck for her.
The shit, hey, some of the shit motherfuckers used to do back in the day, you look back at it, it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That's one of them.
We used to get out and like we used to just see her. I remember one time we got up.
Oh my god, what'd you guys do?
We didn't know what to do. We never thought we would catch up.
We never thought this far.
What the fuck?
You guys just
We
stopped.
didn't know we should jump her. What's the
Scratch-
fuck?
scratch
Ask her on a
your
date. but yeah, we used to just chase her
Can't
home.
decide.
But anyway, so
jump her or ask her on a date. I don't know what to do, bro.
But I remember one time I said that was like my first crush, right? Where you start like liking girls and shit like that. You feel me? Like you're like, okay, whatever. But I remember I had told like a few of the people that I went to school with, I was like, yeah, I took her to the movies.
You was capping?
Yeah, I told people at school, I was like, yeah, I took her to the movies. We went to the movies this weekend. Like, bro, like I don't even drive, bro. Like I'm in 4th grade. You know what I'm saying? Like I did not take her to the movies, but I told everybody, yeah, I took her to the movies. So then my homie was like, I'm finna ask her. And I'm like, no, like,
I didn't think this far.
like, fuck. No, I'm like, no. So he wouldn't ask her, bro. I started a food fight. We had grilled cheese, and you know, like for some reason, people are fucking crazy. I don't know if you guys are like this, but people don't eat their crust on the grilled cheese sometimes.
I be eating that shit.
I be slamming that shit. You feel me? Like that shit's expensive. but like it was a whole bunch of crust in the table. So I just threw a whole bunch of crust in the air, bro, and that shit turned into a huge ass food fight.
Oh my god!
And they never found out it was me, but he never asked her.
And you never asked her,
Niggas
so you
forgot.
got off cool with that
Niggas,
shit
yeah,
too?
niggas forgot, but yeah, she was telling niggas like, yeah, I don't know, that nigga's weird. but yeah, that was fun, man. But yeah, so just being like talk when we were in the lunchroom, like just making stories of and shit like that, like it was funny, you know.
Yeah.
So people would laugh, like yeah, I picked her up and shit, went to the movies and like,
All cap.
but like sometimes the story be too good, so I would be like, yeah.
What else happened? Tell me more, right?
Joy Diaz, that shit, just start capping and shit. But yeah, like it was a yeah. And then from there, like you go into like middle school, like 6th grade. I mean, we were literally having roast sessions, you know.
Yep.
Literally sit down at the lunch table. From the moment you sit down, you talking shit. And especially like with like again with the black people when I hang out with them, like they were, boy, you know, like they gonna bake. So that shit being around them, like them being that funny, helped me be funnier. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so when I went and started hanging around the Mexican kids, I'll smoke all of them because like I was just with the big leagues. You feel me? Like because black people got jokes, they'll bake the fuck out of you. You feel me? So like that was like I'm really inspired by urban humor. You feel me?